So the National Peace Council all of a sudden has found a voice and decided to call on the NDC, of course the biggest opposition party to the 2024 upcoming election, and as them looking out for peace between the parties and for the country, all of a sudden the National Peace Council has found a voice, and where they have decided to head towards is to the territory of the National Democratic Congress. My question before we go into anything is this: has National Peace Council heard all the threat, all the untoward commentaries from the ruling National Patriotic Party? Have they heard it or not? If they haven't heard it, did they actually listen to the news? Have they been following what is ensuing in the news space in the country? Why have they all of a sudden decided that, okay, now we found a voice, and so let's head towards the NDC? It is where we think we can find our way and make things happen. If the National Peace Council has anything to do, they should first of all start from the governing party, because if anything at all, the governing party has everything to do with the current happenings in the country. If the peace of the country is to be sustained, has to do with the governing party. If the peace of the country is to be jeopardized, it has to do with the national or the ruling party. Decided to call on the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, General Mostiquito, as popularly known, and he didn't spare them at all. Of course, we know him. He did not spare them. He made points clearly known to them, and before we go into that, he actually responded to what they had to say and then lined up some conditions that needs to be met before, if the NDC would even ever consider signing that peace pact with them. Let us listen to the national chairman of the NDC. This is GH First Media, where we say ages as it is.
When you are adding fire to gunpowder, you go and sign a declaration that this gunpowder, we are adding fire, but we have all resolved that there will be no explosion. Do you think that when we sign that document, there will be no explosion? So we have maintained that we still have 3 months to go. Let us see action on the side of government to indicate that indeed when crime is committed, whoever is affected will all be treated equally and the law will take its course. Otherwise, the signing of that document will be meaningless. I have in my hand here, where is Vincent, the envelope we are holding. There are petitions from the constituencies where these people were killed, shot at, and injured. They have petitioned us, warning us not to commit ourselves to any such thing. So, National Peace Council, you have between now and the elections to ensure that the state will demonstrate that the state is interested in peace getting into this election. Because we are also in leadership position. If we have sent our people to election theater and they have been shot and killed, in some cases, the state established a commission of inquiry. Recommendations emerged. None of the recommendations have been implemented. The election is about allocation of power. Somebody decided to print 1 million extra ballot papers. They were caught, pants down. The police accompanied the stakeholders for us to go and destroy these ballot papers. They know the culprits. What has happened to them as at now? Nothing. So by our own conduct, we are conducting ourselves in ways that suggest that the state itself rewards violent conduct. And so my little signature cannot prevent the state to continue to encourage violent conduct. So let the state demonstrate that violent conduct during elections or outside elections is objectionable, and then everybody will conduct themselves well. Thank you very much.
So as we all heard, General Mostiquito rightly said, he mentioned some vital things that the Peace Council should have considered prior to even coming to them for this signature of a thing. Now, General Mostiquito rightly said, look, during the 2020 election, there were some printing of 1 million ballot papers by some people which were destroyed in the presence of the police. Those people behind the printing of the ballot papers were well known to the police, but as we speak now, no action, no prosecution, nothing at all has been done to those people. Peace Council, you have been in this country when some people were shot dead during the election. Some 7 or 8 people were shot dead during the 2020 election. No one has been held accountable. But as we speak, the president has not commented on those killings as of today. He hasn't done that. Now, you Peace Council, you have washed away or pushed all that under the bed and then coming for a signature. General Mostiquito is saying there is no need signing any document which is lesser than the law itself. Because if the law itself, in the face of it, nothing is being done, people are doing things that they choose and walking away, and the president and those in the helm of affairs are doing nothing about it. You want him to append his little signature to some piece of paper, and you think that is going to do what? That is when he said they are heaping fire on a gunpowder and expecting it not to blow up. Signing that piece of paper does not warrant or guarantee peace. Trust me, it does not. What Peace Council should be wary of are the comments Brian Champon and the rest are making on their platforms back and forth. Those are the things they should be worried about if they really want peace. General Mostiquito highlighted some 6 conditions that they need to meet if at all they need to append that signature. Let's listen to those 6 conditions. Don't miss one of them.
We have listened to your plea, but we don't accept the fact that we should let bygones be bygones, because crime has no expiry date. The people who have been killed and maimed are people's fathers, breadwinners, sisters, and so on. And the cases are live. People are calling for justice. And they are blaming us for restraining them not to fight back in self-defense. Because we believed in peace as a political party, and when those things were happening, we restrained our people with the hope that the law would take its course. We have learned bitterly that for the past 5 years, the law has not taken its course. So there is no need to commit to any document that is lesser than even the law itself. We cannot sign to conditions which, in our honest belief, will not contribute to the sustenance of that democracy. If things are happening which we feel will undermine that constitution, we cannot be part of it. If we are sent to it, it means that we will be guilty of participating in the disruption of our democracy. That is why we are speaking up to let the wrongs be corrected so that the democracy can be saved. And so we believe that Ayawaso West Wogon happened. There was a commission. There were recommendations. The recommendations have not been implemented so far. Condition number one is that let us see full implementation of the recommendations of Ayawaso West Wogon Commission of Inquiry, which was established by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself. And we believe that he trusted in the judgment of the commissioners. That is how come some of them have proceeded to be Supreme Court judges. Number two, we want to see initiation of prosecution in respect of the perpetrators of the killings in Techiman-Saf, Ablikuma Central, Banda, and Odododio. We want to see prosecution initiated in respect of the illegal printing and handling of several, about 1 million extra ballot papers that were intercepted and were destroyed by the police in our presence, and the records were taken. We don't see what the Ghana Police Service has been waiting for all these years. And even at some point, there was an orchestration to even lie on us that we rather were guilty of that crime. And so we officially sent our lawyers to report to the IGP that we are interested in that case. It must be investigated and then prosecutions done when found necessary. We have not heard anything about it. We want action on it now. Otherwise, the next election, the same people can go and now print more than 2 million. Number 4, thief case of missing IT equipment from the warehouses of the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission has not been open to us. We suspect that the equipment is not missing, and they are being hidden for some unwholesome agenda. Because anytime we talk about it, they say the suspects have been arrested, and that's all. Were the suspects arrested and the exhibits found on them, or we still don't know the whereabouts of the equipment, and that the suspects are being held responsible for being the watchdogs? We don't have any information about it, and we are going into election, and the same equipment is going to be used in the election ahead of us. So we want transparency about that. Because of that, we have our confidence in the IT systems at the Electoral Commission has been shaken. And we have a history in 2012 where our colleagues from MPP found it necessary to compel the state and our development partners to field an external consultant to actually investigate the whole IT setup of the Electoral Commission and brought out recommendations for implementation before the election took place. Our friends from UNDP, I'm sure you will get the evidence on your files that that project was financed by the UNDP. I think we can look at that one so that to put our hearts at rest that nothing untoward is happening in the face of missing equipment and the type of things that are happening, discrepancies between registration figures and all that. We must ensure and assure our supporters that nothing fishy is happening there, because we know that the last commissioner that was appointed, Mr. Apiahene, was a regional election director of the NPP before his appointment. So we wrote to produce evidence of his activities, his appointments and all that, presented them that a full member of NPP cannot be a referee in these elections. We presented evidence. They were ignored. He is still there. And consultants have been engaged to support the Electoral Commission on our blind side, because procurement of consultancy services is a public procurement activity. We are not aware that any such procurement has gone through the procurement procedures. For everybody to know that these consultants actually mean well, and they are the non-partisan type of consultants that are helping Electoral Commission with their IT systems. And we want, point number 5, the president to declare openly on a state platform, not on his political party platform, that he will respect the will of the people as expressed by the outcome of the 2024 December election results. When the president himself does an open declaration, I'm sure it will bring to rest, it will put to rest all the noise that is happening around us about their refusal or unpreparedness to hand over power, even if they lose the elections. The voice of the leader counts, so that he will rein in all his functionaries and appointees, that we are all working according to the will of the people. Then finally, any such document, peace pact, is submitted to us for signature, we want to see the IGP signing to that document. We want to see the Chief Justice signing to that document. We want to see the Attorney General signing to that document. And we want to see the National Security Coordinator signing to that document. If all of them sign, and the monitoring group commits itself to the policy of naming and shaming publicly anybody who reneges on his obligation as far as implementation of the electoral laws of this country are concerned, we think that we will have the way forward. Thank you very much, and you are welcome.
So, you have all heard General Mostiquito and what he's got to say to the Peace Council. As it is, the Peace Council has forever maintained their position to always only criticize the NDC whenever they are in power. Calling on the General Mostiquito, of course, he's had his conditions spelled out to them. And the first one he mentioned, Ayawasu Organ happening, there must be implementation of the recommendation by the commission to the president. And then the second one, Techiman South killings, the Ablekumak Central killings, we need to see prosecution of the perpetrators. And then also the illegal printing of the 1 million ballot papers. We definitely have to see that people behind this are prosecuted, or at least implementation of those recommendations. The BVD machines, which are the core ingredients of the coming election, we don't know where those machines are. And you are telling us, you the Peace Council are calling on us to sign a peace paper when you know fully well that those machines are hiding somewhere and some people are going to be using it for their political interest. He also mentioned that the president must declare publicly, not on his political platform, but on a national platform, that he will peacefully hand over power when he loses, or if they lose. Because of what the president said, all his cronies are going about making threats and making unwholesome commentaries whenever they mount their podiums. Last but not the least, he wants to see the IGP, the Chief Justice, the Attorney General, and the National Security Coordinator all appending their signatures to this patch by the Peace Council. Then and there only, the NDC is going to append their signature as well to that paper, if at all they are ever going to do it. Now, if you don't agree with him, put your comments down below. Let's see what you think. But me, my position, I agree with General Mostiquito, because, of course, a peace cannot prevail when the ruling government is taking other way. We can't condone that any longer. The 2024, whatever happened in 2020 is never going to happen again. This is Just First Media. We say Jesus it is without fear and favor, and thanks for being with us.